I'm Eddie Lee. I'm an Austrian Science Fund Esprit postdoctoral fellow at the Complexity Science Hub. I'm studying why biological systems are social systems, or conversely, why are they not similar to one another. So I'm actually interested in not any particular example, but interested in looking across many different examples of biological and social complexity in order to understand why it is that they would be similar or not. And what's a fascinating conundrum for me is the fact that the sort of science and the mathematics that we have for biological and social systems doesn't distinguish between them. But if we look at the world around us, they are qualitatively different. So why is that? Is it because they're just materially different, but following the same dynamics? Or are the dynamics really different? Are the mathematics really different? And how do we get at that? One example would be in the context of political voting and political decision-making. So in this particular case, what we're interested in is trying to understand what are good models that we can build of how people in a political decision-making body, such as a Congress or judicial court, how they come to their decisions, and what we can say about their decisions and the internal mechanisms that are hidden from us from the statistics that we see from the outside. And this in many ways echoes problems that we see in biology, where we don't really know what's happening inside the system. What we're left with are the traces that it leaves in the environment around us, or maybe what we see, but not necessarily what is driving the underlying dynamics. I think the sort of work that we're doing has much wider ramifications beyond the basic research. So an example of this would be in the context of political decision-making. So one of the very interesting questions for people who are looking into a system, like a political voting system, is what is happening behind the scenes. In many cases, you actually don't have direct observations. So what you're left with is trying to develop ways of trying to infer what's happening. Like I said, this is a common problem in biology, but also in social science. So one of the things that we're doing, for example, is we'd like to understand what are the motives behind the people. Say, if you were to look at a voting record, can you infer what those motives are? And we've discovered, actually, quite recently, another way of looking at these data sets that hasn't been considered before, which accounts for the fact that there is a hidden observability factor, which is to say that you don't know what the motives are, and by accounting for the various possible motives that people could have, you actually end up with quite a different mathematical representation of what's happening compared to what's been done in the past. So this is an example where we're actually taking this result to try to develop better measures of what, say in this example, ideological preferences of the individuals in the system are.